good evening, West Ham fans. It's time for the Academy Show. As you all know, if you don't know, then I'm telling you now, every week we dedicate a slot just for the Academy. Tends to be a Monday afternoon, Monday late evening, that type of thing. So it's the Academy Show. We do it every week. If you like what we do, don't forget to give it a comment, give it a comment, a like, and a subscribe. It all helps. As we tend to do, what we do is we do contract anything newsworthy. Then we go through all the Academy players who've been out on loan. Obviously, if people like Freddie Potts and stuff like that, or the current first team squad, we've spoken about their loan spells and how they're doing in the Hammers headlines a bit earlier on. And then we talk about any of the games that have been happening over the last weekend. Obviously, it's international break for the Premier League, so it's also international break for the academies. So a number of players will be out playing and representing their country in various age groups as well. But let's get into contract news. So two pieces of newsworthy news, makes sense, yeah, is a couple of bits of contracts have been signed. One brand new contract and one extension. And the extension one's particularly interesting as well. We've spoken about it already, but just to sort of reiterate it. So last week, the club announced the two new deals for academy players. And the first one being Preston Fearon, who under 18s academy captain. He signed his first professional contract and he's chosen obviously West Ham to do it, which is fantastic news, and very happy to see Preston signed up there. A real good prospect he is, and as Kenny Brown said to me, we don't hand out captaincies to anyone, and he's obviously the under 18s captain. Perhaps potentially I should really put my teeth in really. A more significant one is the signing of an extension to Ollie Scarles' contract. He has signed and committed his future to the club beyond, well, up to summer of 2028 with an option of an additional year. This is great news for the club, particularly as we've secured the likes of Lewis Orford as well, Callum Marshall, Patrick Kelly, and now Ollie as well. I mean, he's been at the club since he was 11. He's been instrumental in the academy's recent success, a key figure that won the Premier League South title and the FA Cup double during the 22-23 season. He's also made his senior debut for the club as well. He was at just under 17, I think 16 years and 300 something days when he came on in the 3-0 victory with FCSB in the Europa Conference League. So having him now secured, and he scored at the weekend, we'll talk about that as well, but secured to a long-term deal which obviously lasts for another 4 years with a 5th year option. Fantastic news for the club. Now let's talk what's it called? Let's talk loans. That's the one. Let's talk loans. George, he's been injured. He's been injured recently, old George, but he made a return to the matchday squad for Bristol City when he came on as an 84th minute substitute in their 1-1 home draw to Cardiff City. Callum Marshall, again, some good minutes for him, played almost a full 90 minutes for Huddersfield Town in their 2-0 home win against Barnsley. He was substituted in injury time towards the end of the game. Patrick Kelly started and played the first 74 minutes as Doncaster Rovers. Grant McCann's Doncaster Rovers secured a 3-0 away win at Grimsby Town. Gideon Kidoa was nowhere to be seen in the matchday squad for Wycombe Wanderers. It's been a few games now. He hasn't featured at all in the matchday squad. It's not too sure if there's an injury or an issue there. Same with Michael Forbes. He didn't appear in the matchday squad of Bristol City's 3-1 away win at Burton Albion. Levi Lang was an unused substitute as Cheltenham Town lost 2-1 away to Barrow. Again, Christian Heggie was on the bench, an unused substitute as Motherwell beat Hibernian. Was it 2-1? 2-1 away in the SPL. Obviously, he's coming in and his role is very much the number 2 at Motherwell, but not getting any game time, obviously. Somebody did get a lot of game time, despite the fact he was sent off last week, is Mason Terry. He played the full 90 minutes for Hornchurch AFC Hornchurch, they lost 3-1 to Dorking Wanderers in the National League South. He was sent off, as I said, in the week in their FA Cup quarter-final third round replay at home against Liston. They lost 3-1. It was 1-0 at half after 90 minutes, and he was sent off literally the stroke of the full-time whistle for handling the ball outside the area. And then obviously Hornchurch 2 goals conceded in the extra time for that one, so they got knocked out of the FA Cup. No game for the under-18s this week, but there was a game for the 21s. They played the other, top was West Ham, and then the one below them was Man City, and sadly, they lost their first game of the season, having got 5 Premier League wins in the PL2. 2 draws in the International Cup as well. So 7 undefeated, but they lost their first game this season. A spirited display, actually, and they went in 1-1 thanks to an equalising goal from an Ollie Scholes free kick. But City's dominance basically showed us. They got 3 second-half goals. Interestingly, this Man City side did not include Divine Mbama at all. And the under-21 saw their impressive 5-game winning streak in the PL2 brought to an end, and Man City have leapfrogged Mark Robinson's side on goal difference to claim the top spot with a 4-1 victory. West Ham now obviously got a couple of weeks out. Their next game will be against Wolverhampton Wanderers away on the 25th of October. It's worth noting that obviously we played in the Premier League Invitational Cup against Athletic Club Bilbao B, which was another fantastic game. Bilbao, very skillful side, went 2 up quite quickly, and were sort of dominating the game, really. At half-time, the Hammers were 2-0 down, and then a double substitution, and the introduction of Amike Adiele is on the sort of left wing back role transformed the game, and ended up being a brace for Brad Dolligan, who scored his first goal in the game against Benfica the following week, and grabbed a brace and could easily have got a hat-trick. He is one to watch. Oh, Brad, you mark my words. He is one to watch. He's a very natural goal scorer. He's and so you can see he's making the clever runs. He knows what he's doing. He reminds me of Sonny Perkins when Sonny Perkins was banging them in for the 18s and 21s. He's got that sort of, he's quite, I don't want to say gangly, that's the wrong word, but honestly, he's one to keep an eye on. He's a natural goal scorer, and I imagine there'll be a lot more goals coming from him in the PL2 season, that's for sure. But yeah, two draws now in the Premier League Invitational Cup. Group B. Oh, so confusing, all these cups. But anyway, it's looking good for the under-21s at the moment. They're playing really good football, and as I said, also worth noting that Junior Lopetegui was at the game for the game against Athletic Bilbao, so managed to see the likes of Lewis Orford, who was captain. Ollie Scars was playing. Finley Herrick was playing. Julie Robinson was playing. Not the best game for Luizão. I thought he had a really good game against Chelsea the week before, but not so much of a great game for him this week. There was no space for Luis Guilherme. He wasn't in the squad, despite playing against Benfica, and we can see why, because he came on for the first team. And not bad game, not bad game. But anyway, that's it, my friends. If you like what we do, don't forget to like, comment, share. All that good stuff is very much appreciated, particularly the Academy show. It's a show we really enjoy doing. I love it. I think it's very passionate about the Academy, and I think it's important that we shed some light on it when we can, because it is the future, as we can see, and the likes of Ollie Scars coming through, and Lewis Orford, and obviously George Earthy and Junior Robinson, and Josh Ajala coming up and coming through as well. There's going to be some names you're going to recognise, so it's good to know now, so you're clued up when they become first teamers at West Ham. Anyway, also any channel members, you'll be getting your weekly podcast this evening, probably late tonight. We're recording that, so that'll be fun. And as I say, keep an eye on the channel. We've got some really good stuff starting up. We've got some good X-Player interviews, possibly one this week, but definitely one next week. So if there's not one this week, one next week, there'll be two next week. That makes sense. And also we'll have the start of our new show, Desert Island Games. For the members, they would have known about it. We tried it with you guys and you really liked it. So we're rolling it out and going to be interviewing fans, ex-players, about the 3 West Ham games they'll take with them on a desert island. It's the only 3 they can take. And they can't take the game against Prague and they can't take the last game at the bowling because everyone would pick them 2, wouldn't they? Anyway, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and come on, you bloody irons. Much love.